Okay, everybody, so we'll go ahead and get started now. So thank you all for joining us on this, I think it's the fourth Tomodachi Online Baking Workshop. So today we'll be making homemade Pocky. And Kenzie Toguchi is going to be teaching us how to do that today. So thank you all for joining us. I hope you guys have a lot of fun. And just as a reminder, because I know it was hard to see Kenzie's like demo last time. So she has a screen up here. So there's two Kenzies on here. So go ahead and pin her her screen that has the food processor in it. That way it'll be full screen and you can see exactly what she's doing. Other than that, I'll hand it over to Kenzie to start.
Okay, hi everyone. So like Stephanie was saying, I think it's easier to like follow along with the recipe if you're pinning my screen that has my processor on it instead of like me talking, so you can follow along with my voice and what I'm doing. So I think we should just get started if it looks like everyone's ready. Okay, so our first steps of making Pocky is first having a bowl or a food processor if you don't have any. So who has a food processor here? Okay, so if you don't have a food processor, a bowl and with a knife, you can also cut up the butter into the flour and all the other dry ingredients. So, but I'm going to be showing you guys on a food processor. So the first thing we're going to do is add in all the dry ingredients. So that'd be our 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and our pinch of salt. So let's add first our flour into our processor. Our sugar, and then our 1 pinch of salt. Okay, so after we have that, so has everyone put in their dry ingredients?
I'm not doing this. I'm just watching.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I'll do it later.
Yeah, no problem. This is also being recorded too, so I can send the video to everybody after the workshop too.
Oh, thank you.
So if you guys are ready for the next step, can you guys give a thumbs up? Okay.
Okay, so once again, so far we've just put in our dry ingredients, so our flour, our sugar, and our salt into our food processor. So now with our lids, we're just gonna close it, and then we're just gonna kind of mix it all together for a little bit. So let's just do that right now. Okay, you just need to pulse it like 2 or 3 times just to get it all mixed up. And then we're gonna take off the lid again. Okay, so after we have everything mixed up in our food processor, we are going to start adding chopped butter into our dry ingredients. So the recipe calls for 50 grams of butter. So I'm going to get my butter and show you about how much you should cut for 50 grams. So it's okay if your butter isn't super cold, but this recipe works better if you have really cold butter right from your fridge. Okay, so 50 grams, if you have 1 stick of butter, should be about 3.5 tablespoons. So just cut about 3 tablespoons and a half, and that should be about 50 grams for the recipe. Okay, so after what we want to do is, I can move this aside a little bit. Get our butter and then just cut it into some slices. So we can gradually add it into our food processor. Okay, so once we have our butter ready, we can add one of our pieces and put it into the dry ingredient. And then put our cap on, and then we can pulse it. And we're gonna pulse it just until the butter starts turning into little pea-sized balls. So everyone, let's pulse it for a little, like maybe like 5 times, and that should turn into around a pea-sized butter ball. Okay, so my first little bit of butter is gone. Now we're gonna keep adding the other 2 pieces, or as many as you cut so far, and pulse it again. And then I have my last piece, so I'm gonna put that in. And pulse it one last time. Okay, so has everyone put in all their butter so far? You can wait a little bit until everyone has put their butter in. So after we fix the butter, it should kind of look like this. Okay, so I think it looks like everyone's about ready for the next step. So after combining, so far we've combined our flour, sugar, salt, and our butter. And now we're gonna add in our 3 tablespoons of milk. So I would recommend adding a little bit, pulsing, and then add like about half. So it won't mix all together at the same time. So I'm gonna add about half of my milk. And then pulse that together. So after adding in our milk, our dough should kind of be forming into like breadcrumbs. And if you use a spoon, you should be able to stick it all together. So it should be a dough now at this point. And if your flour still isn't into like a doughy texture, you can add in a little bit more milk, just a little bit, and that might help if it's still too dry and not in a doughy mixture. Should be very breadcrumb like. Like if I touch it with my hands, it forms a dough. And if you need, you can add a little bit more milk if it's still too dry, if it's still some flour left over, but just keep pulsing it. I'm gonna pulse mine for a little longer. Mine should be ready. So is everyone's dough looking kind of like mine? Everyone's dough is looking really good.
Not quite yet.
Okay. Yep, everyone's dough is looking really good. Okay, for everyone that has their dough ready, we can get a piece of saran wrap or plastic wrap, and we're gonna put it out on our table, and we can dust with a little bit of flour, and then we need to make it into a ball and then put it in our plastic wrap and then put it in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna do that right now. So first I'm going to put some flour on my table. Okay. Here's my dough and here's my bowl of flour. I'm gonna put a little bit on my table so our dough won't stick. Just a little bit, you guys don't need a lot. Okay, now that I have my table covered flour, I'm going to dump all the dough onto the table. Make sure to get all your dough that's in your processor. Okay. So now we just want to start pressing into a ball. And if your dough is a little bit too sticky and it's sticking to your hands, you can take a little bit of flour and sprinkle it on. And your dough should start forming into a ball. So my dough, I've made into a little ball. So just keep knitting it together until everything gets combined. Okay. So here's my dough. I kind of made it a little bit flatter into a disc. So here's my final dough. And after this, I'm gonna get a piece of saran wrap or plastic wrap and then wrap it up and put it in my refrigerator. So here's how your dough should look before it goes into the refrigerator. So is everyone's dough looking good? Okay, looks like everyone's dough's looking pretty good. Okay, so I think pretty much everyone has their dough ready in saran wrap. We're gonna go to our refrigerators and put it in there, and let's set a timer for 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go put my dough in my refrigerator. And we'll set a timer for 15 minutes. Okay, so now we're just gonna wait 15 minutes before we roll it out and cut it into the Pocky shapes. But just making sure for decorations, everyone has their melting chocolates to put it on top of the Pocky sticks. And then some different toppings. So I have sprinkles, I have some almonds that I'm going to crush. Anything that you guys want to decorate it with.
Is melting chocolate the same as the kind of chocolates you use for baking?
They're different. They're specifically made for melting. But if you have chocolate chips, you can try to microwave it.
Okay.
But in future, if you're gonna need chocolate to melt, I would suggest like it should say like melting wafers or melting chocolate, not just regular chocolate chips.
Okay, got it.
Oh, and then for our next step, we're going to be needing our rolling pin, flour, and then something to cut up your Pocky sticks. So I have this tool, but any regular knife would work.
Can you hold up the tool?
Oh,
Oh, okay. Where did you get that?
you can get it at any baking store. It's a good multi-purpose tool. So I use it when I make cookies. You can kind of scrape it off the table. When you're making, you can cut stuff with it. I use it a lot too. Like after this class, after using dough on my table, it's really buttery, so you can use this to kind of clean it off. Yeah, and it's really inexpensive. It's like $8 mostly. The cheapest one would be, yeah, but it's really good. I'd recommend getting this tool.
Actually, I saw one at Daiso yesterday for $1.50. So yeah.
I'm going right now.
Yeah, you can get so many things there.
Where do you get the matcha powder?
The matcha powder, I feel like you can get it in any store. Tokyo Central probably has matcha powder, most likely, I think. I feel like most American stores also have matcha powder.
It's probably a little bit cheaper at the Japanese stores.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I think matcha powder's pricier. It's like a more of an expensive product.
But there's a lot of different things that you can decorate your Pocky with. I know I have almonds here because I know they have a chocolate almond one that they sell. They have crushed Oreo ones. You can put maybe coconut flakes on top of them. We have like freeze-dried strawberries were on our list. Or just plain chocolate. And I also have some food colorings. So with our white chocolate that I have here, we can just pick any color we want and dye it purple, green, pink.
So I guess around like 2:35 is when we'll bring the dough back out, probably.
Yeah, I have 10 more minutes on my timer, but I'm
Okay,
gonna put it around the same time. Yeah. So we can just take a break for the next 10 minutes.
sure. Okay.
No?
Have you decided what the next class is going to be?
We haven't yet. Because since Kenzie's actually graduating from high school this year, so she may not be available to do these classes. So, oh, did it freeze?
Oh, Steph.
Oh,
Yeah,
am I back?
you're back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good sentence.
Okay, that was weird. But yeah, I haven't been able to decide, yeah, what the next classes will be. But whenever I do, I can send this whole group like an email from my email so you guys know. And as always, I'm open to suggestions.
So if you don't have a food processor, cutting the butter into and after you can start stirring the milk in, but after kind of gets soaked in by the flour and stuff, you can start using your hands.
Do you melt the wafers in the microwave or on the stove?
You can do either way, but I'm gonna do the microwave for today. It's really easy and really quick. So I would personally use a microwave, but you can also use your trying to like the boiler, or I think there's both options on like the directions. Yeah, microwave or stovetop method.
For those that are using like regular chocolate chips, is it probably safer for them to do the stove way because they're less likely to burn it? Or do you just microwave in very small intervals?
You can do maybe stovetop might be a little bit better, but if you want to microwave it, just do it in like small time intervals, like 10 seconds, and then stir. Yeah. So, but same with these, like we need to make sure, like at least mine, and it seemed like a lot of people have the same one as I do. It says like 30 seconds, stir, and then 15 seconds after that. Because if we burn, if we microwave it too much, the chocolate would burn and then it started getting clumpy. And we want to make sure our chocolate's smooth, so when you dip our sticks in, it'll be really like a smooth texture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we need to melt enough chocolate to dip the sticks in, not to just drizzle on top.
When I made it the first time, I just melted in like a regular bowl, and with a spoon, I just kind of scooped chocolate and put it on my Pocky stick, and then the chocolate should be like liquidy enough that when you start shaking it, you kind of smooth out all over to make it like a thin coating. But if not, you can also drizzle it or however you want to do it.
Okay. Oh, and when should we start preheating our oven?
We can start preheating it when we take out our dough out of the refrigerator.
Okay.
And I think this recipe is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and if you don't already have your baking pan ready, I have mine with a regular baking pan, and I have parchment paper on top. So when I bake the sticks, it won't stick onto my pan. So you can start doing that if you haven't done it already.
I missed that earlier. Is that parchment paper you use on top of the baking pan?
Yes, I use parchment paper.
Got it. Thank you.
I have about 4 more minutes on my timer. My rolling pin, I think I bought it at a Michael's. I'm pretty sure they sell it there, or Amazon probably has my rolling pin. I think it's a Martha Stewart brand, but I feel like many brands make this type of rolling pin.
Did you ever eat your Pocky stick plain?
Oh yeah, it's I made I think half plain and half with chocolate, and this recipe it's really similar to like the original, like the one they sell in stores, but it's more of like a cookie, not like as much of a biscuit. So it's still good on its own. It's kind of like it's like a butter cookie.
They kind of look like pretzels.
Yeah. I have about a minute left on my timer. So I think everyone should be almost up. Okay, my timer went off, so I'm gonna go get my dough from the refrigerator. Okay. So once again, I'm gonna just get a little bit of flour and sprinkle it on my table. Okay, and then let's unwrap our dough and then start rolling it out with a rolling pin. You also want to make sure to put some flour on your rolling pin too, so the dough won't stick onto your rolling pin. Okay, and a little bit on top. Okay, and we can start rolling it out. So we want to roll it out. I can show an example right now, but not super thin. You want to keep adding some flour over time so it won't stick to your table or to your rolling pin.
How thin should it be?
Okay, so let me see. I will show you guys an example right now. Okay, so let me cut a piece. So it should be about, let me see if I can show you guys. So about this thick. So it shouldn't be super thin, but it should be maybe about, the recipe says about half an inch thick about. So like if you've ever had Pocky, like around that, if you've ever had it, around that thickness. So let me see. You can really make it as thick or thin as you want. I would say go on the thicker side. So when you're dipping your chocolate, it won't break.
Kenzie, are you making layers?
I made mine too thin, so I'm gonna
Okay.
make it a little bit thicker because I feel like once I bake it, it's gonna get kind of like a cookie. But once I dip it, I don't want it to like snap in half.
Oh, okay.
Just make mine a little bit thicker. The thickness is kind of everyone's like own preference. So if you want, I would say I personally like it more on the thicker side, so it's easier to decorate and stuff. But so once you have the thickness you want, you kind of want to take off all the extra parts that aren't square. And we'll reuse these later when we roll it out again. Okay, so it should be kind of like a rectangle. And then now we want to make it into little sticks. So here I cut one, but I'm not going to make it this long. I think I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. Maybe about this long, I would say. About this long. And when it bakes, it's going to turn. You could also use your fingers to make it more into a triangle shape, like shape it a bit more. But it should pretty much look like this. And after you have your first piece, you can just lay it onto your baking sheet. And I would recommend cutting this. I'm gonna cut this whole piece up into strips, and then after then cutting it the size that I want, so it won't take as long. Oh, and if anyone hasn't started preheating their oven, they should do it now. So I'm gonna preheat my oven to 350 degrees. So is everyone cutting their okay? So I've cut up all my sticks, and I'm just gonna be using the first one that I cut as like my reference size to try to make it the same length as all my other ones. Okay, so I think it looks like everyone's almost done. We can still take a couple more minutes, but I've made about, I would say like 25 sticks, and I'm gonna start putting them onto my. Okay, I have all my sticks on my baking tray. Is everyone's almost ready to bake?
Looks like everyone's pretty much ready.
Okay, so we're gonna start putting our trays into the oven and for about 15 minutes, but we're just gonna keep checking on it. Everyone, because I think everyone cut their little sticks different sizes or different, thicknesses. So just make sure your sticks don't burn. But I think now everyone can just start putting their trays in the oven. I'm gonna check mine every 5 minutes just to make sure. And in the meantime, until that's done, we can finish doing all our extra dough because I still have another dough left. So I can start doing that. Unless everyone else finished doing their whole dough.
Raise your hand if you have extra dough. Okay, one person? Okay, two people. Okay.
Okay, if you have extra dough, then you can just do the same thing as you were doing before, just rolling it out and cutting it again. But if not, I think you guys take a little break if like you did all your dough already. But I'm just gonna keep cutting my dough right now until I have to check on my dough I put in the oven right now.
Kenzie, someone's asking how do they know when it's done?
It should be, the color should be like lightish brown, kind of tannish.
Do we need to flip it or anything?
No, you don't need to flip it. Okay, so my sticks have been baking for about 15 minutes and mine are ready to take out. Okay, so here are my sticks. I'm gonna transfer my sticks to another, if you have another tray or you have like a cooling rack that kind of cools faster so we can decorate it. So I'm gonna start putting those onto something cooler so it can. Okay, so my sticks are pretty cool now. So we can start with decorations. So I have my 2 chocolates and I have 2 bowls, 2 spoons. Okay, first we can start off, if you guys have a dark chocolate or milk chocolate, you can start off with melting these. So you can start off with putting some of the wafers in a bowl. Or if you have white, you can do white too. But I'm gonna do dark chocolate first. Okay, so if everyone has their chocolate in their bowl, you can microwave it, says for 30 seconds, stir, and then if it's not completely melted, another 15 seconds. So I'm gonna go do that now. Okay, so my chocolate's fully melted. It should be pretty liquidy. And then now I'm going to side. So I have my rack of my Pocky sticks, and I have a piece of parchment paper or foil would work. Tin foil would work. Just to after you dip it or put chocolate on, put it on here so it can the chocolate can harden. So I'm going to get one of my sticks. And then start coating with chocolate. And if your chocolate is liquid enough, if you can shake off a little bit of excess chocolate so it won't be so thick. So I'm just lightly making sure not to break the stick. Okay, I'm gonna place it on my parchment paper. And I have sprinkles and I'm gonna do the almonds in a second, but I have some sprinkles with me. So I'm gonna just drizzle some sprinkles on top of my Pocky. And then we just leave it there until the chocolate hardens. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do the almonds, or if you have almonds or Oreos, So we need a plastic Ziploc bag, and then let's put some of our almonds or Oreos in the bag. And then I'm gonna use my rolling pin, but anything kind of hard that you can use to smash your almonds or Oreos would be good. So I'm gonna use my rolling pin. And same thing, I'm just gonna get another Pocky stick and add some chocolate. And you can do the same thing with the white chocolate. And for white chocolate, we can use food coloring. So I'm gonna do that in just a second as well. But same thing, just dip it in chocolate and shake some of the excess off. And then I'm gonna use my crushed almonds. Just get a little bit of them and then sprinkle them. And you want to make sure just to leave them on there until they harden. So my sprinkle one's still a little bit liquidy. So, but once it gets harder, I can hold it up and show it to you guys. So I'm gonna just keep doing the same thing over and over again. On our topping list, we had crushed almonds, we have matcha powder, sprinkles, Oreos, and then strawberries. So if you have matcha powder with you, you can use a little sifter. So something like this, and put your matcha powder inside, and then kind of sift it on top of your Pocky stick. So if you have any type of powder that you want to use to decorate it, and then everything else is just kind of sprinkling it on, like sprinkles, crushed Oreos, crushed almonds, and then strawberries. And then I'm gonna do the white chocolate in just a moment, but I'm gonna just finish doing a couple of my other dark chocolate ones.
When you do the matcha dusting, would you recommend is like both chocolate and white chocolate is good, probably, right?
Yeah, it should work for either.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing with your Oreos or your crushed almonds. It'd work for any type of chocolate. Okay, I'm gonna melt my white chocolate so then I can use my food coloring and dye different colors. So I'm gonna do that right now. It's the same thing as your other dark chocolate or milk chocolate. 30 seconds and then stir it and then 15 more seconds. Oh, and make sure you use different spoons because you don't want to mix the two chocolates. Okay, here's my white chocolate. It should be the same consistency as like the milk or dark chocolate we used before. And before I dye the colors, I'm gonna just dip some in white and then put some sprinkles and some of my almond on top. I think if you're using some crushed Oreos on the white with the white chocolate would look really good. So here's one of them. This is my chocolate one, some sprinkles on top. You can't really see it, so I did it with my white one. But just make sure it's fully, your chocolate's fully dried, not still melted. now I'm gonna use some of my food coloring and dye the white chocolate. I think I'm gonna do like a light pink. Take just a little bit of food coloring.
So who's completely done decorating? Can you raise your hand? One person? Two people? Okay.
You don't have to decorate all of them, just like a couple, right?
Yeah, just a couple. It looks like a couple people are almost done too. Yeah, that just looks good. I see Katie. They have a lot of nice ones too. So after Kenzie's done showing us how to decorate, then I'll have everyone take one nice group picture with a couple of your Pocky, and then we'll be done.
Excuse me, but this computer is about to die.
Oh, okay. So if you need to leave early because of that, that's okay.
I think we can take our pictures now.
Okay,
A lot of us are done.
sure. Okay.
So we can just hold up some.
Okay, so everybody, you can either hold up a stick or you can hold up your tray. Okay, I'll wait a little bit more. Okay, ready? So 1, 2, 3. And then one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. You guys look so good. Okay, so Kenzie, you're all done?
Mhm.
Okay, great. So thank you everybody for joining us, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed seeing all of your Pocky, all the interesting combinations. So not sure when we'll do this next workshop, but when we do schedule, I'll let you all know. So in the meantime, thank you so much to Kenzie too. I think this is going to be her last one because she's going off to college next year.
Oh,
So yeah,
exciting.
I'm sorry. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Kenzie. We really appreciate you doing these workshops with us. It was a lot of fun. And thank you to everyone for participating, and I hope you guys have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
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 Leave me.
Okay. Thanks, Kenzie. That was really fun.
It turned out good.
Yeah. Everyone had like, yeah, different sizes, so I could definitely tell when they were really thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was even for that age group, especially having the parents there though, but yeah, that wasn't too bad. Time-wise, that was really good actually. So, so I guess, do you think you can also send me some pictures of your Pocky and then I
Yeah.
can share that? Okay, great. Otherwise, I don't know if you had anything that you wanted to ask me, or like also if you ever needed like a letter of rec or some kind of job recommendation, you can always let me know too. Yeah. And last, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that my school, because of COVID and everything, they like canceled the volunteering hours for seniors.
Oh, okay.
I think I might ask my counselor. I just might turn them in just because I have them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do that.
Okay, sure. Do you need any documentation from me, or you just submit a paper?
Form and then just like I just need to get it signed off and that's it pretty much.
Okay, sure. I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. And then lastly, I'll just get this from you over email probably, but if you can send me your address so we can send you a thank you gift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're really sweet to do all these workshops with us. And so yeah, we just really appreciate it. And the kids too, obviously.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
I've never made like the things that I've taught before, so it's kind of like something new for me too.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I wish I could bake like you so that I could teach this class when you're gone, but or like maybe I still can, I don't know. But like if you ever like see anything out there that you think could be doable for this workshop, you can always share it with me too. Maybe I can learn how to do it.
I'll email you recipes if I find any ones.
Okay, thanks. Um, but yeah, otherwise, yeah, thank you so much again. And good luck to you in college. And I know you'll be amazing, whatever you do. So
Yeah, I have like I think 2 more months until I graduate, so yeah, trying to hold on to like my last senior year like things, even though it's like we've been doing it all at home, like through online school.
right, yeah.
I think they're letting like us go back on campus soon to do like
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's good because yeah, you're lucky you're starting college a little bit later in the pandemic, so you can actually go to college. So that's good.
a good thing though, so I can go actually like in person to my school.
Right. So the summer, are you like pretty much are you doing anything over the summer or?
I'm not sure because I have to go early because I have to like start training with my team for college,
Uh-huh.
ready for season and stuff. So I'm not really sure yet, but maybe I can teach them in the summer.
Okay. That would be great if you could, because I was also gonna bring up to you, we're doing Tanoshi Fun Camp, which I don't know if you know Michelle kind of helps with.
Huh?
Yeah, and so we want to do some like cooking and baking with the kids, and it would be a lot on a smaller scale maybe than this, or it actually could be the same amount of time. But we make things with them like Japanese cucumber salad or like kind of like easy things that don't require like heat.
Yeah.
But since it's online, it doesn't really matter so much. So like maybe if you have some time, like an hour or two over the summer in July, do you think you'd be interested or?
Yeah, I think I have something July 1st. I can double check. I can email you, but I know I have something either the beginning of July, end of July. But
Okay.
when is the camp? Like at the beginning?
It's in the middle actually, so July 12th to the 23rd.
Okay, I can double check. Let me see if I can check right now. I have it written down somewhere.
So the camp would be like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. every Monday through Friday for that period.
Okay. Let me check. 'Cause I have it written down somewhere, but I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Would I just like cook like bake something like we're doing now?
Yeah. Mhm. It could be a slightly shorter time. It could be like either an hour or hour and a half since it's a 2-hour camp day.
Okay. I think July 23rd to the 1st.
July 23rd to the 1st, you're busy?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay.
I wouldn't be in like town July 23rd to the 1st.
Got
So
it. Okay.
the camp's over the weekdays, right?
Yeah, Monday through Friday only.
Okay, yeah. So that should be good because I don't think I have any like soccer games or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great because yeah, so far we don't have anyone that can teach like the cooking stuff. Are you okay with cooking and baking both?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Michelle and I are working out the details still. So, but camp's getting closer. So I will let you know like what recipes we're thinking of. And if you think of anything too, you can let me know. But I guess I should also let you know the theme for this year's camp is summer. It's like summer and fall. So Michelle and I were thinking of teaching like or trying to incorporate like summer or fall themed like Japanese fruits and vegetables and stuff. Which I guess that's kind of how like the cucumber salad comes into play. But if
Maybe we can do I know in Daiso they sell like the popsicle things. We can make popsicles.
okay.
But, I don't know what Japanese themed popsicle there can be.
Yeah, let me see. I guess popsicles or maybe like shaved ice or something. Shaved ice is big in Japan,
Oh yeah.
but I guess you have to get a machine for that. So okay, but that's a good idea. That's good for summertime.
And like Daiso and stuff, they sell them like the molds and you just pour it in and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll let you know once we get closer what we're thinking of, but I want to give you a date just so you can have that in your calendar. So I will let you know that as soon as possible.
Okay.
Okay, great.
All I need to do is like email you my stuff from like school and then my address, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks, Kenzie. So I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Yeah.